Welcome back to another interview here in Nashville for UFC Fight Night. I have Coach Bob Perez here with me, who is getting ready, or who's been working with Derrick Lewis, but they have an upcoming fight this Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for speaking to me.
Yes.
I appreciate it. It's very rare that I get to do interviews. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. And I met you a couple times now, and just your personality, everything about you is just amazing. I've always enjoyed talking to you,
Thank
keeping
you.
up with you, and everyone at the gym, Holland, Rayani, and obviously Derrick Lewis, and everyone else that you have. It's just awesome.
Thank you so
Of
much. I
course.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So when I was, preparing for the interview and everything, I noticed you never really fought.
Mhm.
So why don't you talk to me about what got you into coaching?
So I did some amateur boxing as a kid. I fought some Muay Thai smokers, and that's it. Never fought MMA. But I was preparing for a couple fights. One fell through, didn't happen. Um, Another one, like when I say the first one didn't happen, like the whole show didn't happen.
Oh, wow.
And the other one, there was just no agreement on the fight. So I got into coaching kind of on accident. Um, I started just, sparring partner for this guy that got me into MMA. Went from there, started training, wanted to fight, blah, blah, blah. And then, hey, Bob, will you, show so-and-so this or show, I was kind of good at relaying information, you know, and that's how I got started. When I was boxing as a kid, like there was no mitts or pads that didn't happen. So I kind of had to learn how to do that. Given my striking background, it was kind of easy. And I don't know, I just have a way of getting through to the fighters and relaying information. And I definitely wasn't put on this earth to fight. I think I was put on here to help people and help them achieve their goals.
Absolutely. And obviously the fighters that you have in the UFC speaks for itself. You've taken them from the lowest levels to the highest levels, and you've known Derrick Lewis for 15 years now,
Yeah.
And you're coming up on your 100th.
100th UFC
Yes.
corner. Hopefully, I've cornered over 1,600 corners in 9 different combat sports. But a UFC corner is just so different. Excuse me. This is 96. Kevin next week will be 97, and then we'll be looking to book Yadir Del Valle again.
Yes.
Hopefully, Hayani again this year. Colton England, Hayani's husband, he's on the short list. So, and Derek is going to fight again. Hopefully, I'll make my 100 this year.
That is amazing. I mean, that
First one was in Nashville, January of 2012.
Yes.
So it's cool to be back here, and I'm getting close.
Yes, I saw that you posted that recently. I was going to bring that up too. Your first one was in Nashville.
Yes.
Here you are now coaching Derrick Lewis.
Yes.
And being your 96.
Yes.
You were just so close to that 100 mark, and that is just so inspiring for people.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Course,
every UFC is an experience, and you can't really compare it to anything else. I've done world title fights like in stadiums in Thailand, and we've got bare knuckle champions and WBC champions, and this is just different. So to do one, I'm very lucky, but to do 96, I'm very, very, very blessed.
Yes, and for you to even say you have over 1,600 in general, it's just that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's nonstop.
Yeah, and you definitely do what you love. I'm always seeing the pictures and the videos, and just the love and the family setting is just. I can tell you love what you do.
I absolutely love it. We train very hard at the gym, in kind of like harsh conditions. Yeah. It's a real gym, but my coaches were all very hard, very strict, and I get that. And when I started coaching, that's how I was. And then you get older and you mature and you realize that different people respond differently to things. But I found I have to get on people and have to get on people. But for the most part, man, it's all love, and I want to see them do well, and they see that I work hard for them and they work hard for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I do. And I admire you so much. And I love that we're able to keep up over the, last few months that from when I met you has been amazing. Tell me the top 5 coolest or most intriguing moments in any combat sport, UFC or bare knuckle.
Wow. I mean, there's been so many. Well, I won't mention the name, but a fighter that I had in his pro debut, he chokes his guy out in the first round. And at that time, there was no amateur fighting in Texas. So he'd been training like 6 months. And he choked his guy out in the first round, and go get some beers for the guys. And Bob. He choked somebody out in the stands. So like, yeah, that was so that was a very memorable experience.
Yes.
Of course, the Volkov fight, that comeback for Derrick. That's probably my
Yes.
favorite moment in all of my experiences. And then my balls was hot. That was just amazing to witness. But man, I was there for Connor's debut. Like at that fight, for Khabib's debut, which was here in Nashville, actually, January of 2012.
That's amazing.
Let's see what else. I mean, I've had great moments with Kevin. I mean, there's just so many.
Yeah.
The Curtis Blades knockout. Did I say that already?
No, not yet.
That one was special too. Nothing against Curtis. It was just the way it happened was pretty great. Yeah, I'd say those are some pretty cool moments for me. It happens to be that a lot of them are with Derrick, because we've been together so long.
So long, yeah.
For
absolutely.
sure.
How has it been? I mean, I don't want to say, I guess, raising these athletes into the fighters they are today. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I know it sounds cheesy, but like my goal is to, if you were my fighter, and like I have a young up and comer. She started with me at 14 and she's 24 now. She's a win or two away from the UFC, but my goal is to help you be the best fighter that you can be, the best version of yourself in the cage or the ring. But I want to see you be a good person, because we all start out rough and young and dumb, and you have to mature and I really like to help guide them, and I try to lead by example as far as like being honorable and humble and honest and loyal and just treat people kindly. That's how I want to see my fighters. And if you look at certain gyms, or all gyms, big gyms, fighters will take the personality of the head coach for the most part. And I want everybody to be kind of like just really cool with people, and you show them who you are when you have to.
And that's definitely not cheesy, because if you look at, like you said, I mean, you meet some of these fighters who are just rude, and it's because their gym is known for those types of fighters. So the fact that you're here wanting to have these fighters come in and make sure while they're still training and fighting, they still have a heart and a personality that's not a bad one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can the gyms and the people that it's kind of. But that's just not us, and I don't tolerate it either. Derrick is Derrick, and he's gonna always. So he posts whatever on his social media. I don't think as much as he used to, but like for the most part, like I even kind of like take that down. That's not a good representation of our gym or whatever. I want everybody to just be cool.
Yeah, and I feel like over the last, I want to say, just a couple years, I mean, he really has taken that step back from all the craziness of his crazy posts, but he's still Derrick.
He's gonna always be Derrick, and he's one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet, but he's also insane, and I mean that in a good way. He's a comedic genius, but he's an introvert. Yeah. If he were here with us right now, he's quiet.
I remember we talked about that when we met, and I was mind blown. Yeah. Because he was the one who pulled out his cup, threw it, and like you said, my balls are hot. Like he said some off the wall stuff, and then knowing that he's actually quiet and taken back, it's just like, really?
No, for sure. And his interviews, he got in the UFC his first fight was April of 2014, and post-fight interviews were pretty mild, and he'd say some funny things, but then once he kind of found like his stride. People are like, Bob, do you know what he's gonna say? Dude, I have no idea. He would never tell me, because I like, don't say that. Because when he said my balls was hot, I'm like, oh, dude, we're gonna get in trouble. He's gonna get in trouble, or he's gonna get a fun. It was the best thing he ever did. And honestly, I didn't really even know any better. I'm trying like, dude, like I don't want you to get in trouble, but it was the best thing that ever happened.
I think it was memes, and it's just still memes. Like it has never gone away.
His memes I think they're still there.
No, they've never gone away. I don't think they'll ever go away.
Yeah, no, he's gonna, he's gonna always, it's Derrick.
And I love, so I know like a lot of the questions we're talking about, but so I want, interview you, but your heart and stuff with the fighters. I've noticed that, like just everything is about your fighters, even with our interview, and I love that. And as a coach and as a mentor to these people, for them to know that they have this support, and in the interview you're just talking about them, and I'm sure that means a lot to them, and
well, I can tell you this, like I'm nobody, and my fighters are, and it's kind of like, I know my dad always wanted me to do better than him, and I want that for my kids and my grandkids and for my fighters. I want to see them do well. this UFC is about Derrick. It's not about me. If you were fighting for me, it's about you.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I do the best I can. My job is to be in the background and to push you as much as I can. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's all about the fighters for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, you're absolutely right about that. A couple quick, two or three more questions. So when we were walking up here, you're talking about how you're here and then you're getting home, and then on Tuesday you're like gonna wash your clothes, shower, and head to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
When your kids were young, and obviously you have grandkids now, how do you manage that balance between coaching your fighters, your wife, your kids? I mean, I know that has to be hard on the family.
It's really really hard. Not so much anymore. You know, my wife is beyond supportive, and when my daughters were younger, I don't think they quite understood why I'd be gone, or I'm always, I mean, I'd work 14, 15 hours at the gym at that time, multiple jobs, whatever. But, they know now. And I would try to explain it to them when they were young girls, but as adult women and being mothers, they understand. And, it was one of those things I would tell them, like when they were in high school, for example, like, I know I was gone. I've missed birthdays. I've missed anniversaries. I've missed a lot. But, when you need that those cool pair of shoes or that bag you want or whatever, I was like, I got you. And it's not just about superficial things, but
Right.
that dad's working hard for us, and they do understand that. Um, it really kind of broke my heart because our youngest grandson, his name is Alakai, they were watching Kevin's last fight. They were all together, and my grandson Fabian, that I post about all the time, was like, Grandpa. And Alakai said Grandpa for the first time, and I missed it when he saw me on TV. And now he won't say it again, but he said it like 3 times. So, it kind of breaks my heart, but, I'm proud they get to see me on TV and be proud of me. But the balance is hard. I'm being long winded, but to kind of sum it up, I make it up to them. When I'm at home, I'm at home.
Yeah.
And I'm completely present with my family. My wife and I, we have the best time just chilling at home or watching a movie or, going to listen to some music. We're very simple.
Yeah.
But I'm with my family. If I'm not at the gym, I'm with my family.
And I love it. Obviously, I see all the pictures and everything, and Fabian's adorable.
Thank you.
I always love seeing the pictures of
Thank
him.
you.
He's
Thank
just
you.
such a cutie.
Thank you.
Last question. For a fighter that's up and coming, maybe stepping into the gym for the first time, or even someone who's been in the gym for a while but is holding back, what advice do you have for them?
Say that again one more time so I can, I want to make sure that I answer it correctly.
All right, let's just do it this way. For a fighter that's stepping into the gym for the first time.
Okay. So a fighter or just a student, like a regular?
It's a student. So I know.
Okay.
So I'm still learning all the different things between a fighter and
It's
a
all
student,
good.
and someone who's interested in combat sports.
Mhm.
How about we do it that way?
Okay.
Whether it's just being a student training or someone who wants to take it to the next level,
Mhm.
what advice do you have for them?
So my advice would be, if you want to do this for, you know, um, for fitness, or for self-confidence or discipline, learn how to defend yourself, whatever. Do your research, find a reputable gym, and give it your all. You're either going to love it or hate it, and hopefully you'll love it, and you're going to do great. Fighting is different, okay? You need to get with a real fight gym with real coaches that have been there, done that. They need to be able to look after you, build you the right way, get you, the appropriate fights, where they're taking care of you, like making sure that you're going to be okay. And you've got to work and sacrifice like you wouldn't believe. I want to make it very clear as well. I think a lot of people think you make it to the UFC and you make it. You're rich. You're set for life. It doesn't work that way. Getting to the UFC is very hard. Staying in the UFC is even harder.
Yeah.
Getting to the top of the UFC is, I mean, you're less than 1%ers. So be realistic with your goals, monetary goals or whatever. But like, you can do it. Like, just work really hard. I know, once again, cliche, but like, bust your butt and try. You're gonna fail and fail and fail and fail, and like me, and you'll find your groove.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Bob, it has been an absolute pleasure. I mean, obviously we've spoken before, but to have you on and ask these questions and really get to know you instead of just being a coach, It's been such an honor and privilege.
Oh, the honor's mine. Thank you very much.
Obviously, I wish you and Derrick the best of luck this weekend, and then of course next week, Kevin Holland.
Thank you.
Actually, one more question. I mean, so Dustin Poirier has been around for a long time. This is a retirement fight. What are you thinking about that matchup? Obviously, it's the third time they're meeting.
You know, I'm sad to see him go, but it is his time, and it's his time because he, you know, that's what he wants. That's what he needs. It's time. But he's an OG in the sport. Very cool guy. Can fight like a madman. I love Max as well, you know. But for me, this is Dustin's show.
Yeah.
He's fighting at home. I would love to see him go out with a bang, go out with a W. I mean, no matter what happens, he's going to give a show. He always does. Always. He always has. So I'd love to see him go out there, put on a show, and get that win and right off into the sunset.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
Hope to see you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.